I'm scrolling through the usual Reddit. I should probably catch up on news. Is there any news happening? Writer's still on strike, right? Oh my God. Oh my God. Dude, Disney has got an AI task force going. Disney, of all places, is looking into AI so they can save money. Goodbye, writers. It was nice knowing you. And it was funny. There was this, I forget the name of the writer, actually, but the writer was like, wow, a particular movie came out whose script was so terrible. He's like, I can't wait till AI takes over Hollywood. And this is coming from a writer. And I was like, oh, yeah, there you go. Yeah, I found that amazing. I'm like, Disney? Well, okay, look at the stuff that they've come out with recently. I think if anyone needs AI assistance at this point for creativity, it's Disney. You know? It's like, dude, bro, dude, they haven't come out with anything good in years. Well, maybe they should use AI. AI is the tool of the devil. All right, dude, you're going to still keep getting crap from Disney then if you just let them use AI. I don't care. Well, I mean, I feel like that's just going to be the thing. It's like AI is going to just be doing the majority of the grunt work that people don't want to do. Hey, I'm fine with that. I've done enough grunt work in my life. You know what I'm saying? But think of the writers. Well, I think the writers should be writing good stuff. Yeah. This wouldn't be an issue. Nobody would worry about AI if, like, they had good scripts. You know? Like, everybody, like, for the majority of the movies that are out there, and I'm saying, like, 90%. Most people that go to the theaters, they look at these movies and they're like, meh. You know, even a big budget Marvel cinematic universe, you watch these films and you're like, it's all right. It's okay. Whatever. You know, it's a very indifferent audience reaction. Not that AI is going to be any better, but it'll be cheaper. So we may not get better crap, but, you know, at least people aren't going to get paid to have a validated existence for mediocrity. Let the robots be mediocre. No, human. All right, think of it on a grand scheme of things. Okay, let's get philosophical here. All right, a little early for this for me, but okay, humanity. Right? We always complain about reboots, remakes, and all this other stuff. Right? A multitude of stories that have been created over the last 100 years have been based on a multitude of stories created over the last humanity. Okay? So we tend to repeat ourselves because history has a habit of repeating itself. It's just the names and places change. So, as algorithms go, could we actually be in the state of pop culture where we are just repeating ourselves? We know we're repeating ourselves, and all the good stories have been done. So now we're just basically, you know, remixing things. And for that, you get a robot to do it. We might have peaked as far as arts go, saying like, I would probably say the 90s. It was probably the last time I was like, wow, this is creative. You know? Dude, even that weird little cartoon, what was it, Inside Out Boy? Who would do that now? Nobody. Well, maybe somebody on Newgrounds, but it would be weird. Like, there's not a lot of, I guess, mainstream creativity. In the 90s, there was a lot of mainstream creativity. They thrived on it, you know? And that was one of those things where you saw that environment and you were like, there are possibilities. Now you see the environment of creativity, you're like, what am I watching? Wow. This is garbage. This is utter garbage, you know? And so robots taking over or AI, go.
I think the issue is that some scripts have become too convoluted due to Hollywood noticing certain trends instead of Hollywood creating trends. I think Hollywood lacks confidence in making trends after seeing what people made popular on
places like YouTube and Twitch website algorithms to try to guess instead of creation. It's easy for them to just say, yeah, just slap it together in a franchise recognized multiverse, just whatever. Go. Just do it. You know? And the problem is the audience, because they go and watch these movies. More reboots, remakes, stuff like that. Your society is not giving any creative field incentive to make something new. Because everyone is just sitting there going, give me more of what I saw. I mean, that's it. I would blame the audience first because, much like the first writer's strike, we've all discovered, and I've said this numerous times, first writer's strike, we got a plethora of reality TV. Everybody just watched it. They didn't care. They didn't care. People don't have very discerning tastes when it comes to content. Most of them. They're just like, gimme. It's on. I'll watch it. Yeah. That's it. They don't think about it. They're not finding a life-changing meaning in content anymore. They don't look for it. They don't even want it. You know? They just want something familiar and something that they may be able to identify with. Hey, that person is like me. Yay. That's it. That fill in the blank is my spirit animal. You know? That's it. I don't care. So AI churning out more crap, more garbage, reconstituted, remixed scripts from ye olden times? Whatever. Humans have been doing it anyway. Humans have been doing it anyway. You know? How many stories that have been drawn out into movies and you're like, wasn't that a Twilight Zone episode in like the 60s or 40s or whatever the hell that series came out? You know? At least during that time period, though, there was that sci-fi thing where it was like, oh, dude, space age, all this other cool stuff, you know? But now it's just like, whatever, dude. You know? People aren't even impressed by the aspect of there being UFOs floating around the planet constantly. You know? They're just like, yeah, whatever. Yeah, UFOs, whatever. I'll look at it at TikTok. Whatever. I definitely agree with that because of what happened to music as well. Oh, music is atrocious right now. Oh, my God. God, from beginning to end, I'm just like, you're all singing, but you're not saying anything. You know? And it's kind of sad. I mean, there's like one or two bands out there that are trying, at least, but there hasn't been a lot that's moved me where I'm just like, oh, wow. All right, that's pretty good. You know? And it's just sad. Eventually, here's what's going to happen. AI will become more predominant, and then the next grouping of creatives will be like, this was made without any AI. It's so organic. Look at me. I made this with my brain. Yeah, you and everybody else hundreds and hundreds of years before you. You're not special. I'm not special. Nobody's special. So, yeah, it's just, you got to wait long enough for people to forget or get resentful, you know? And I feel like that's what's going to happen with AI. Everyone's going to use it until somebody gets resentful, and then it's going to be like, meh, you know? I mean, dude, even music, hypothetically, you know, because the AI thing is a sticking point with a lot of people. And I always go back to the artist thing. For every artist that mixed their own paints and colors and used actual canvas to make a picture, Photoshop destroyed that. Nobody complained. It's easier, it's more efficient. Yeah, but there's a human quality to it. Okay. So AI is the next step in that. But there's nothing human about it. Somebody put in a prompt. Technically, there's human input. You're splitting hairs at that point. I don't care either way. You know? It's just going to be real interesting. I'm looking forward to it because I like new things and I like to see where stuff goes. But eventually, you know, AI is going to have that negative loop, which it's kind of starting to do already, because it's basically using itself as reference. So when AI starts using AI as reference, then you're just going to end up with, like, you know, you think hands are bad now, you're going to get, you know, it's going to be all over the place. It's going to be ridiculous. On the topic of music, your thoughts on the theatrical band Ghost? All right. I mean, they're all right. They're there. Yeah. The last band that, and granted, I'm not a huge fan of them, But the last, all right, band that I thought was interesting enough to be different, two bands actually. One, Systems of a Down, because they were so creatively just poof, 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 poof. They were all over the place. There was a lot going on there. And to the ear, it was freaking different. The other one prior to them, Mindless Self-Indulgence, because they were so chaotic, like chaotic energy, just done. You know, these like minute-long songs off their earlier albums. And then even the later stuff is just like, wow, that stuff still holds up, and they were ahead of their time. But as creative, and here's the thing. I have a fine line between being able to absorb music on a creative, artistic level, and then listening to Mike Patton albums where he's making noises, you know, that kind of thing. I can't do avant-garde. I can't. I have a fine line, you know, like when you're, you know, making noises in a toilet or something like that. I need a dash of coherence, you know. Making sounds for the sake of art is kind of weird. And I like Mike Patton, you know, but anyone who's into Mike Patton, you know, there are certain albums that you're like, I can't. Yeah. But at least they're trying. They are trying new things. So that's good. Depeche Mode. I feel falls into that category too. Yeah, but they really haven't. I mean, when they came out, they innovated a bit, but not now. They haven't, like the last couple albums I've heard by them, I've just been like, yeah. There's a fine line when you have a sound that's ahead of its time. If you don't keep improving on it, you end up being behind the times. Because certain bands that were like Information Society, they were another older band that were, I would say, the precursor to Mindless Self-Indulgence, because they had so much electronic stuff going on. They're still good, but they sound dated now, even though at the time they were ahead of the time. So, you know, it's weird. Besides, trends are terrible. Here's the thing. Writer's strike. Actors strike. All these people. We need more money. We watched a Super Mario Brothers movie. You know who needed more money in that? The freaking animators. Because to me, nostalgic nods aside and all those cool little things that they put in there, the animation held my interest more than the story, more than the acting. The animation was very good. Animators need more money. Chris Pratt wasn't as bad as I thought they were, you know, because like everyone's like, oh, Chris Pratt had, they were all right. They're all right. Princess Peach, You know, Bowser's all right. Animators. But the story was very, it's a story. Middle of the road. Wasn't terribly interesting. Wasn't the best thing ever. But the animation gelled that movie together way better than the writers did. Okay? So, with that being said, animators, go on strike. Get more money. Because as far as I'm concerned, in that instance, you were more valuable than the writers or the actors. Just saying. Hollywood, if you care, there you go. Because here's the thing, right? AI can take over writers. AI can do voiceovers, okay? Maybe not great, but, you know, considering some of the plastic acting we get, it doesn't really matter. It can't animate that well yet. Your resource right now that's the most important are your animators. Everything else is replaceable. Animation will be at some point, but not yet. Not yet. Animators need more money.